Hello, YouTube. The next citation of Old Testament prophecy is in John 15:25. And for context, I'm going to read verses 18 through 25. If the world hates you, be aware that it hated me before it hated you. If you belong to the world would love you as its own. Because you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, servants are not greater than their master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But they will do all these things to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not have sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. It was to fulfill the word that is written in the law, in their law. They hated me without a cause. It seems to me that there's some similar ideas to the Pauline corpus in this passage. One that people who don't accept Jesus, it's not because it's like that they're not convinced. It's just that they know the truth, but they choose to reject it. And it's for that reason that they have no excuse. They're just a bunch of God haters. And, the phrase their law seems to be pretty telling to me. It seems to be a polemic against people who want to keep the law, keep the Torah. But let's get to the citation here. From verse 25, that is from Psalm 69, verse 4. And I'm going to read verses 1 through 5. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in deep mire where there is no foothold. I have come into deep waters, and the flood sweeps over me. I am weary with my crying. My throat is parched. My eyes grow dim with waiting for my God. More in number than the hairs of my head are those who hate me without cause. Many are those who would destroy me, my enemies, who accuse me falsely. What I did not steal, must I now restore? O God, you know my folly. The wrongs I have done are not hidden from you. Now, before I get to verses 4 through 5, in verse 2, interesting phrase to me. I sink in deep mire where there is no foothold. I have come into deep waters, and the flood sweeps over me. It may not be a conscious decision, but it seems that the motifs being used are in fact quite old. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book Canaanite Myths and Legends, because there's some very similar imagery that's used in the story of Baal and Mot. So I'll read a couple of things which seem to be similar to me. Have you then forgotten, Baal, that I can surely transfix you? There's a lacuna here. For all that you smote Leviathan, the slippery serpent, and made an end of the wriggling serpent, the tyrant with 7 heads? The heavens will burn up and droop helpless, for I myself will crush you in pieces. I will eat you, lacuna here, and forearms. Indeed, you must come down into the throat of divine Mot, into the miry depths of the hero beloved of El. So, the abode of Mot, the god of death, is described as a mire. And here's another passage. The gods did depart and stayed not. Then indeed they set their faces towards divine Mot, within his city miry, where a pit is the throne on which he sits, filth the land of his heritage. Now, let's get to the psalm and see if this is really a fulfillment here. Now, who does the psalm seem to refer to? The introduction says that it's a psalm of David. And let's see if this can apply only to a mortal human being. For example, verse 5. O God, you know my folly. The wrongs I have done are not hidden from you. If Jesus is going to use this as an example of why people are doing things to him, would this not need to apply to him also? Is Jesus capable of doing wrong? I'm not so sure. I really don't see how this applies to the other situation. It seems like another example of proof texting and deliberately redacting other parts of the passage that can't apply because it would defeat their use.